Turnout at polling stations in the capital, Bangui, was visibly low. The government of Central African Republic's President Faustin-Archange Touadera says the constitutional changes will bring stability and help development. Touadera's critics say he's trying to stay in power.
I think the Central African people have asked for it, and I think the people will vote in favor for this new fundamental law.
Touadera's been president since 2015. The constitutional changes would enable him to stay in office for another 16 years. Political opposition and rights groups say they've been threatened and attacked for campaigning against the changes.
Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we're witnessing firsthand the establishment of a dictatorship by Mr. Touadera. So therefore, we cannot have any referendum free and fair. That's the reason why we have decided, the opposition side, to boycott the referendum.
Touadera's government depends on Russian mercenaries from the Wagner Group and Rwandan soldiers to control Bangui and some of the towns. The foreign forces benefit from access to the vast mineral wealth, including gold and diamonds. Armed groups control much of the countryside. They also ordered people to boycott the referendum. For many people, the threat of violence and economic hardship are of greater concern than the politics. About half the population is in need of humanitarian aid, and about 500,000 people have been forced from their homes. Decades of coups and conflict led to a new constitution being adopted in 2016. The government now wants to change it. Provisional results are expected after a week. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera.
César Publics is the Dialogue's advisor on Africa at Constellation Resources. That's an international organisation committed to peace building. He says such referendums are a tool used to hold on to political power.
We need to step back and actually understand Central African Republic. It's a very fragile state, and it's surrounded by fragile states. It's south of Chad and west of South Sudan. So effectively, this referendum is more of one of the instruments that the elite uses as their bargain. It's really an occupation of the political elite in Central African Republic, in Bangui, and both the government and the armed groups. The elite in Bangui are actually kind of negotiating their positions in government. There's no particular ideological difference between the opposition and government. It's more of everybody is struggling for power, and this referendum is just one instrument that the president wants to use to actually open up the space for because the presidential term limit. Because he was elected in 2015 and also 2020, and his term is up, so he wants to be re-elected in 2025 again. So his argument is very, very straightforward, that for Central African Republic requires stability, and he sees this as part of really the stability that is required to stabilize this country that has been in a cycle of violence over decades.